Good evening all. Tonight we'll be talking you through our process of creating Cloudscape, our light installation for Vivid 2012. Lately, there has been a paradigm shift in the way we as humans relate to the weather. It is no longer just a question of what is the weather doing, but what are we as humans doing to the weather? Therefore, Cloudscape is an interactive installation where people control the lighting by interacting with each other. Together, we can create change. Our team is a collective of local and international creatives from a mix of disciplines, including urban design, architecture, interactive design, and lighting. From Woodsbagot, we have Nicolas Thioulouse, Nguyen Ngoc. We have academic Michael Day, Frank Maguire is an interactive designer. Our lighting critic is Christine DeRay, and myself, Victoria Bolton, architect. For us, the key paradox when looking at interactive design is that you get a group of people gathering together to interact with an installation, but not each other. You've got the paradox of the singular experience versus the collective. And we sought to challenge this paradigm so that people would start to connect with each other, as Frank will explain.
So one of the things I really liked about working on Cloudscape is that it bridges the divide between digital and physical. And one of the ways it does that is by the sensors that we designed, rather than using buttons and screens that sort of separate us from that other world. It actually uses people's bodies, and so people have to create human chains in order to create these weather events up above them. And so people actually become conduit, completing the circuit, and then making the weather events come about. And what's been really interesting is the emergent behaviour, sort of the way that people use it, and the way that they start, recruiting the people that are walking by to try and get them, to make more human chains and to make the weather events bigger and brighter and more exciting. So Kim's now going to talk about the structure of the Cloudscape.
Okay, so. The interesting thing about Cloudscape is actually it's made of a mixed material. So there's timber and metal. So we've used 4 ladders in L shape, provided by One Steel, and timber frames that were made of Akoya, that were made of primitive of 1 meter, cubes 1 meter, that allows us to use a system very similar to Tetris. So there's a little bit of pop art in it, with the digital age. So we wanted to have something very light, and we end up with something that looked a little bit like something back from the 70s, like Archigram or Constone or Una Friedman. And so we had this cubic cloud that would be filled with balloons made of mylar. So mylar is actually a plastic made of, it's the same material that you can use for survival blankets, for example. And it allowed us to actually reflect the light out of our lighting system provided by Traxon. So the interesting thing is that the cloud could allow us to actually really diffuse the light to make it a beacon for the whole project. So now Nicolas is going to talk about the other aspect of Cloudscape.
One of our major target as designer, architect, urban designer, artist is really to understand the fundamental of what we do in terms of creating a gift to the city. So the journey was early in the process was really to go back to the essential of art and architecture, merging that, and using the local as a way of demonstrating the craftsmanship. And we've been through a lot of studies in terms of what is the appropriate timber, what kind of junction we'll be using for the timber frame. And it's about really showcasing in a society which is driven by mass production, getting everything importing from overseas. It's really using the power of local and this knowledge that we could really create something within limited budgets that was pretty challenging to deliver such a big infrastructure or sculpture for $20,000, and really developed a sculpture that will be as sensitive during the day as it will be during the night. And like Vivid is really about focusing onto the lighting installation. So day and night was always a target for us to really create a sense of place, a sculpture that could be visited during the day and could be fantastic in terms of interaction at night. And as a result, I think we were extremely happy when everything that was generated was to reconnect people. And again, in a digital society where Twitter, Facebook, every sort of digital media, put yourself behind a computer. And by creating this interaction of connecting with people, for the first time you reconnect, you get to talk to your neighbors, you get to engage with each other. You actually need, as a social medium, to get in touch, to create something. And for us as designer and architects, as I was introducing, this was our primary target, is what sort of gift can we give back to Sydney, and using a light installation to create that. And it's been quite amazing in terms of looking at all sort of people, age group, categories to really engage with each other, kids being mesmerized, trying to figure out themselves what to do in terms of creating an effect to it. And for us, it's really rewarding just to go down there and witness the human chain. From a social perspective, I think that's not necessarily the sculpture in itself, which gives us a lot of satisfaction, but it's the fact that people really tend to connect and use that as a place to meet and engage with each other. Thank you.